Hi, I'm Roberta from Quilt Crafters Corner, and today we're going to talk about more about what to do with those scraps that we've cut off from either the backs of quilts or maybe they're even left over from your tops. So I want to thank everybody for subscribing that has subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It's free. Also, my quilt composition checklist, there's a link in the description below. Go down and get your copy. It's really nice to have. It's a handy little checklist that you can just have there on your cutting table and make sure that you're hitting all of those points to make and design the most beautiful quilts that we can. So today, I want to talk a little bit more about what we do with those scraps that we have cut off from either our backs or even leftovers from the front. Now, you know what I'm talking about. Those long, skinny strips, 4 to 6 inches, or maybe they're tops and bottoms that could be anywhere up to 12 inches, left over. So in my first video, I talked about sorting those and getting those colors sorted. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to leave a link in the description for that one. Also, go check it out because I think it's really helpful if you have your fabric, especially the scraps, sorted, because then it makes it really easy to start pulling and combining colors and makes it much quicker to get those scraps used up. So let's go over to the cutting table because I'm really excited about today's, and stick around to the end because I want to show you some different things that maybe you haven't thought of. Okay, here we are at the cutting table. Now, a while back, probably 2-3 years ago, I did a disappearing 9-patch, and it starts with a 9-patch. It's really a very simple, easy block to do. And I'll put a picture on the screen for you. I did it in black, whites, and reds. And I had this idea that I wanted to do a black, white, and red quilt for the longest time. So I've got 2 pictures here. One is with more of a black background, and one is more with the white background. Now you'll notice in the black background one, I got a couple of the blocks not quite right. So when I laid my 9-patch out like this one here, I obviously flipped something because when I went and cut it, it didn't turn out like the rest of them. So obviously I got my colors wrong. So that's something you need to kind of pay attention to when you do this disappearing block technique. So this is a real simple 9-patch. This is 4.5-inch squares all sewn together. This is a 12.5-inch block. Really simple, really easy to do. Now, as far as making it a disappearing block, all you really do is you cut it into 4/4. And it's pretty simple that you just cut it this way. And I'm going to move it. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of lining this up on my board so that I can, I don't eyeball it. I kind of get a real pretty good where I'm going to cut it. So you're just cutting this into 4/4. I know. You're thinking, oh, you're crazy for cutting something up that you just sewed. Well, wait till you see what you can do with this. Just by leaving 2 blocks there, you can do something like that. You could also change it to something like that. You can move this around any way you want to. This makes for a really interesting design and pattern, and not to mention, once you start adding to this, you can go many different ways. Now, I want to show you one more thing that you can do with this particular thing. Okay, so here is another one. Pretty much the same fabric. This is all backing fabric that I had left. And now I'm going to do the same with this one. Just Okay, once again, we have 4 pieces now. So look what happened when I did that. Isn't that amazing? Look, you could do this. You could do this. You could move this anyway. Now, I want to show you something even more interesting. What if I took these 2 away and I put these 2 in? I could put them in like that. I could put them in like this. You get a whole different block. Now these are very traditional blocks. This is a simple 9 patch and a simple Ohio star, and you're just cutting them up into 4s, and you're getting this block. You're getting something new and interesting. Now the reason why I didn't do it all out of the same material, because I wanted you to see which blocks these came from, because you're going to get a different block every time. So, and these are just simple traditional blocks. These are nothing extravagant or, hard to do. Simple 9 patch, that goes together in no time. Even the Ohio star is not it doesn't take long to put this together. But these are all just something that you can do to make something new and different with your blocks. Now, this is really an interesting idea, and I love the idea that you could just go and make a traditional block and then cut it up and then put it together differently. Now, the other thing I want to talk a little bit about is when you make these blocks, as you can see, this is what they call a 3x3 grid. You have 3 blocks across and 3 blocks down. Now, I have this book. It's called Quilt Block Genius, and she has a whole section on just the 3x3 grid blocks. And these are just simple blocks, and it gives you this really good idea of what you can do to turn them into something like this, into a disappearing block. There's lots of really interesting ideas that you can do. Cut your blocks up and then make them that disappearing block. Because once you start, if you start cutting this, you're going to get a block like this. You're going to get a block like this down here, and think of the things that you can do with that particular block. It's really just a very, very simple idea, and yet it's a great way to use up all of those wonderful scraps that we have. You saw at the beginning of the video, I just started pulling colors out to see what I had and what kind of went together. And I, kind of had these greens in mind and the reds in mind. Because remember, I pulled the reds out and then those went in a different direction. And that's what's so wonderful about quilting. Every time you turn around, it's taking you into a different direction and a different way to use up these scraps. So I hope this is something that's really interesting to you and you'll give this a try. Because like I said, when I did my first disappearing 9 patch, I went, oh wow, this is amazing. So if you like that idea, please let me know. Leave me a comment. I would love to hear if you're going to try this. When I first discovered it, like I said, I was just like blown away, amazed. Oh wait, I can make something and then cut it up and put it back together, which has given me a ton of ideas about how to use up these scraps and make them into something really beautiful and pleasing. And it's a new idea and it's a fresh idea and it comes from you. So I'm going to do more of these disappearing blocks. I hope that's something that you want to see. Please let me know. Leave me a comment because there are so many options you can do with this. And like you saw there, I use different colors of fabric in order to bring out those greens and bring out those reds. It's just a real simple idea to use up those scraps that we have plenty of. So don't forget to go get your quilt composition checklist. The link is in the description below. It's nice to have a copy when you're doing this. Also, thank you for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. And so thank you, and we will see you again soon with the next video on how to use up all of your scraps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.